Hi, everybody. Happy Monday night. It's time for another Football Guys Players Championship live draft. Adam Krautwurst will be drafting, and I'll be, I don't know, I want to say making fun of him, but I don't expect there to be too much of that. Let's see what happens. We're about 4 minutes away from start, and you pick 8th. Adam, is the Football Guys Championship the deep end? Adam?
Yeah, I think if you do enough of them, it's certainly the deep end. So, yeah, if you have to get a good shot at winning, you got to spend enough money to be in the deep end. I think Abib had 67 of them last year. Football Guys Players Championships to win the $500,000, and I think he won on number 67. So that is pretty deep.
Just enough. Well, a lot of us can't do that. 2 or 3, or it's
right.
It's tough to do so many. It does seem like there's a strength in numbers here because you can get that diversification, that variety that you might need. But even without that, you can still win your group. It's just your strategy would change if you were in it for the whole thing or you were in it for just your group. It would be a different draft approach, I think. Maybe there's something optimal about drafting just for not to give you any ideas, just drafting within like a 12-team league in a short season, as at least some of your competition is going to be, playing the playoff schedule, tournament type upside picks, those sort of things. Not that we have to worry about this for tonight. How do you like picking 8th?
For tonight, I like it. For today, for what I'm going to try to do, I feel like I've been picking 8th, 9th, 10th, 7th all summer long. So this is my 17th, 18th Football Guys draft. I've had the first pick once. I've had the second pick twice and the third pick twice. So everything else is, I guess it's law of averages, but. I just feel like I'm picking it. And plus in these drafts, 8, 9, 10, 11 are kind of the same anyways, so it just depends on who they're going to let fall to me. I wouldn't mind my second Devontae Adams share tonight out of the 10 spot.
That'll be interesting because
spot.
that'll beat ADP, but so what? I mean, last year, 8th is about when Adams went as the first receiver. He might be back at the first receiver now. I think he probably is. Would you put him at wide receiver 1 after today's news? I think I would.
Yeah, so I've got a tier, and it was Tyreek Hill as my number 1, and then moved on to the next tier. And I knew that if everything worked out with Rodgers and all that, I was going to move Adams right up into that first tier. So yeah, Adams is up there with Tyreek, and unless depending on how the board falls, I could certainly see taking Adams here at 8 overall.
Well, I will just kind of do my thing here with you, like on these deep end shows. Normally, I don't want to give too much away, so hopefully I don't do any of that. But I do think talking through one of these drafts is really, really interesting and fun. And I have no part of this team. This is all you. I'm here in the peanut gallery for tonight.
Oh, there it goes.
Now it's official.
Now it's official. But yeah, no, I'm excited to get the 8th spot. So some guys, and it really just depends on how you want to build it, right? Like I thought about maybe some Darren Waller here.
It's close.
Because to building with an elite tight end up top, it kind of opens you up to be able to do some other things later on in the draft. You don't have to worry about taking, 2, certainly not 3. You might not even take 2 tight ends with Waller, but yeah. So, and even the same thing with receiver, if you take a receiver in the first round, it really dictates how the rest of your draft is going to go. But yeah, so I'm interested to see how the things fall. And I'm totally cool with going with whatever, but I think I only have one Devontae Adams share. So now that, and it doesn't really kill you either. So it's not like Adams was going in the 3rd round. You know what I mean? It's not like he was this crazy value that's going to affect these drafts. He was going as like the wide receiver 3, and now he's going to go as the wide receiver 1 or 2, so.
Yeah, that's right. Waller is right on the number just about for you. Like he's won 9 according to Fantasy Mojo in the last 3 days. And I like that a lot. I have not had one of these where I started with him, but I think it's a good case. You and I did pros versus Joes and picked first last Sunday, and that was McCaffrey. But I think Kelsey is a reasonable play at 101 because of the point you made. Mostly the point you made. It's just what is your tight end room going to look like? Now this, unlike that, is a managed league.
Yes.
So with tight ends, you can move in and out of that position later on. So I think it's a little bit less advantageous than in a best ball, but it's up to you.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Tyreek is still there. Yeah, I might still lean Tyreek. So it's that week 13 bye week for Devontae Adams that gets me, right? So between that, that's for fantasy playoffs. So I've got them both in the same tier. I was assuming Tyreek would be gone.
Really?
Yeah, usually Tyreek goes as the wide receiver 1 slightly before this. But I do need some Devontae Adams share. So let me actually grab Devontae here because I don't think he's going to come back around to me. But if this were a main event draft, I would have leaned Tyreek there because of that week 13 bye, it being a playoff week. I would have leaned Tyreek, but I've got a couple of shares of him, and I think I only have one of Devontae Adams. So I'm happy to pay a premium for him because, you got him. Looks like he's playing for a contract. You got Rodgers always playing with a chip on his shoulder. So I could see those two. And I feel like every time, they get inside the 5-yard line, it's just he's always looking for Adams. So I'm perfectly happy at having him there.
You have 8 picks, now 7 before you go again. Aaron Jones might be around there. I would guess he goes before your turn, but it's a little close. Would you do it?
No, not in the football guys or the main, just because I don't want, again. So week 13 is the first round of the playoffs, and in football guys, if you don't, you win no money for the regular season. So if you don't do anything in your league playoffs, you don't win anything unless you make money in the big playoff championship rounds. So without not having my first 2 picks already, I'd feel like I was way behind. So and Aaron Jones isn't, he's in a tier of other running backs. It's not like he's going to be head and shoulders better than any player here. So I might as well take another player that I like just as much that doesn't have that bye week.
So there's no prize until what? You have to make what round?
There's no prize until the championship game of your league playoffs.
Okay.
Yep. So it's 1,500 to first, 500 to second. So if you don't come in one of those 2 spots, you win no money. Now you can still win a bye into if you're a top 2 seed,
right?
During the regular season, you get a bye into the big championship round, which is always nice. But again, that's a whole different beast. You could have a great team place 300th out of 10,000 and win $200 or something. So it's really, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to move to a different thought. I just sort of noticed something and wanted to talk about it here. How many drafts have you been in where only 6 running backs went in the first round?
Yeah, that's pretty wild. I didn't think I was starting a wide receiver run overall, but hey, it's going to work out great because now I'm going to get a good running back coming back. And if you would have flip-flopped it, I'd have been thrilled, right? So if I would have taken the running back early and then Adams would have fallen to me, I would have been super excited. I was hoping for Gibson there. Unfortunately, he went.
Yep. Running back 8 is Gibson. Barkley at 7. There's still some people out there that are turning off the sort of pessimistic news about Barkley, including this player at 11.
Yeah, I would have liked Barkley, Gibson, Taylor, but they all went in a row there. So buzzkill there. I think I'm going to go with a guy who has who's going to get a ton of volume. I don't have a ton of him. I'm going to go with
Najee Harris.
I'm going to go with Najee Harris. Yep. So I passed on Nick Chubb because he has an absolutely brutal schedule. His week 13 through the last week of the year is brutal. He has a bye in the playoffs. and he's got Baltimore, I think, in the championship game of the league playoffs. So your second round pick is almost dead in the fantasy playoffs. And you'll hear me talk a lot about, I think you've heard me talk a little bit about schedule over the last couple of months, but really doing a football guys draft, you'll hear me talking a lot because this isn't a best ball. You have to set your lineup. You have to plan ahead. Like, I'm not in this to do well in the regular season. I'm in this thing to win as much money as I possibly can and look toward the future. So I'm trying to build a team that's going to be awesome in December, not in September.
How do you like seeing Metcalf in round 1?
That's crazy. So now that I'm just looking at the board, I mean, this draft is flying. But by the way,
is that how it feels?
It does. It feels like it's flying to you.
When you're drafting, I think it's flying. When you're watching, I think it drags.
That's right. But Metcalf Hopkins, that's Tom friggin' Hanks 13. So if this is his 13th team, maybe he's looking for some exposure to guys to build a roster that's unique, because that is a thing too.
You know what? Metcalf, Adam, is one of those players where he really does. You do see him in a certain narrower range. In fact, on my way down to the studio tonight, I asked my son, "Is there a player you want me to tell Adam that you want him to get?" And he said, "DK Metcalf." And I said, "Now tell me if I was right." I said, "He's picking 8th, so he almost definitely won't get him."
Yeah, and I couldn't even have gotten him in the second if I wanted to.
Right. You would have had to take him as wide receiver 1, which you would never have done. But interesting board so far. There's Kittle in kind of his usual spot. You're in the middle of a run on running backs after starting the run on receivers.
Yeah, what do you think of Najee Harris in that group of running backs there?
I'm totally okay.
Yeah.
I think, you and I talk all the time, and my thing is always what sounds like the biggest assumption people are making about a player or a team when you sort of keep front and center in your mind how many times people are wrong about that. I don't listen to a lot of shows where they're going back through last year and fixing all the mistakes. It's more just like, these are our principles. And I think Pittsburgh's offensive line was bad, and it seems like a position group where you will get a lot of variance. So, I mean, that can be in play calling, that can be in schedule, that can just be in 1 or 2 new pieces. I'm not assuming that they can't block. They're the Steelers. I don't want to just write that down in ink as a negative. And I think you mentioned volume. Volume is the operative word with him. I mean, he can catch the ball downfield. He's going to be goal line. He's everything in between. I think there are better running backs in the league, but
sure,
he's good and they're invested. So I'm fine with Harris. I don't go out of my way for him, but yeah, I'm certainly not afraid of him.
Yeah, I would have liked. I mean, that Tyreek Hill, Jonathan Taylor start's pretty wild. I would have liked Taylor. Gibson's my guy in that early second round, man. I mean, I just feel like he's that. Every year, right? Every year, 50% of the running backs that finish in the top 10 from the year before are out. Right. So, like, if you just regurgitate the same top 10 every year, you're going to be wrong for 50% of the time. I think Gibson and, there's a couple other guys mix in, guys that can jump into the top 10 that weren't necessarily there last year, or maybe they were right on the edge. And I think Gibson's ready to take that step. And I want to be, right in lockstep with him. His schedule is great. I think that offense is ready to explode. So he was a guy I was definitely looking at, and I'll be taking a lot of.
Is this next pick for you a position?
It's maybe. Usually, I mean, that's hard to say. So the guys I like here are always Hawkinson is my guy this year at tight end. I feel like he's he could get into that top 3 tight ends this year.
Well, if you like Pitts, you're going to get one or the other.
Yeah, so Pitts has been having there's been nothing but positive energy around Pitts too. I like Terry McLaurin here, and I like Hawkinson here. I
mean, Pitts has been going a little bit above Hawkinson, but you got your choice.
Yeah. The only running back I would consider here would be Chris Carson. I don't want to do that.
Don't.
I love Pot. I mean, I just went. Yeah, I got my guy Najee. So to me, it's between McLaurin and Hawkinson, and I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go Hawkinson. I just think. I mean, there's even talk coming out of camp now that they need him to be great. They need him. They want him to take that next step. That's what they're looking to do, and so I think that. To me, he reminds me a lot of George Kittle before he broke out, right? Like he's at Iowa tight end, drafted so Hawkinson he's drafted top 10, and you see it coming. You see it coming, and then all of a sudden an explosion hits. I think he was the tight end 4 last year, so it's not like it wouldn't be a surprise if he finishes tight end 4. Fine, it's a wash, but I think he's got a shot to definitely be tight end 3. But I think he's got a shot to have a massive year.
I got $10 that I know who you'll take next. If you can,
you're probably right.
It's close.
It's close. It's close.
Well, there's a lot of yellow for one of these, and maybe Adams has some. He went wide receiver 1 to you. I don't think he had a major impact on that, but you do see, teams that are players that are trying to focus on wide receiver early and build around that. And I like to see it. And then maybe in the middle, they kind of got stuck in each direction. So maybe not. Who knows? You can do what Team 4 did, for instance. I just don't think I would want to.
Yeah, no. And what you're going to find me end up doing here in this draft now is it's going to be, and I know you're going to hate it, but it's going to be very wide receiver heavy. Like I'm not going to reach to take.
Why would I hate that?
Well, I don't know. I feel like you like the drafts better where it's not like a modified 0 RB. I know you like your receivers, but like, would you be okay with me going Najee for the next, be my only back for the next 5 rounds?
It's what I would do.
Okay.
I mean, depending on the player, look at our Pros and Joes team just 8 days ago.
Yeah,
there was a pretty good receiver run there. We went McCaffrey and Jones right away. I mean, Adam, I watched those drafts too. I'm thrilled with our 1, 2, 3. Who's got McCaffrey, Aaron Jones, and Ridley to start? But I mean, it has to pay off. The chalk there is really strong. I know we got a little bit of heat. Like, it's hilarious. Like, what do I even mean? What are we talking about? What are we, politicians? But there was some criticism in the middle of the draft that we might have gotten a little greedy at running back, but it was close. It was close. But I like our team a lot in that, and that's a lot of wide receivers between rounds 3 and 8.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that draft, especially comparing it to other teams that picked out of the one spot. That draft last night was bananas, that Pros vs. Joes. That was cool. I mean, Montgomery went in the second round. That was just wild.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There
goes Darrell Henderson in round 4, 402.
Interesting. Well, there's some talk today, about them wanting him to be the guy, but they also want to keep him healthy. So
yeah, they talked about him today like he was their running back 1. That's how McVay was today. And correct. Fine.
Yep.
Fine.
Yep. Yes. So the 3 guys I got queued up, Mike, are there are 2 is Cooper Kupp, Amari Cooper, Robert Woods. So I have a ton of Cooper Kupp. No. Robert Woods, I don't have a lot of. Who just went? Kyle
Carson.
Pitts. Okay.
And Pitts went 4-4?
Yeah. So he actually lasted a while. Usually he goes a little sooner, but so normally you'd be right and you'd win the $10. I still might go that route, or the $5, whatever it was. And Kupp would be my guy. I don't want to get overexposed to him when I still have 5 or what are we at? 18. I still got 6 drafts left I'm going to be doing. I don't know what I really like. Woods would be my guy here because I love the Rams offense. Amari Cooper, how do we think his injury is? Do we think he's going to be okay?
It's close. I have liked him a lot, but I don't need that here. I think you're probably getting value if he's talking about mid-August, right? So There's a little bit of concern on Cooper. His fantasy mojo is 312, pick 36. So it's slight value, but I know how much you love Kupp and the Rams.
I think I'm going Cooper.
All right.
I think I'm going Cooper. I think I have one share of him, and crazier things have happened. One of those guys might fall back to me. The only thing, I wouldn't mind pairing him up with Dak, although I think that's probably super common. I think I like the value on Cooper here, getting him 5 spots later because they were talking about him. The big thing you got to do with these football guys when you're drafting volume like I am is you kind of got to capitalize on some of the news, right? So, came out today, like you said, Foot, mid-August, people are like, I'm going to pass on him. I'm going to, there's been times I've wanted him at the 3-4 turn and haven't been able to get him. So, I like getting a share of him a little bit cheaper, and he's not going to be my only, if he's not explosive out of the gate, I'm going to have a bunch of receivers here coming up that I'm going to do. So, but yeah, Cup, yes.
I'm sorry, Adam Thielen jumps up ahead of a lot of names.
Yes.
So
yeah, I like that. I like guys taking a stand.
Yeah, that's right. You see that plenty in football guys, right? You see plenty of get your guys, that sort of thinking and approach.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not even get your guys. Sometimes it's like I said, like you were right. Like I like, and this is a weird thing to kind of wrap your head around is, I like Cooper Kupp and Woods better than Amari Cooper, but I've got so much of them that like I have to get exposure to other players. And so and sometimes if you can find yourself in a draft where 4 or 5 guys are passing on better players to get exposure to other guys, that's when you can get kind of value for certain guys. Like the guy, Team 9 getting Jonathan Taylor almost mid-second. Like, everyone else, maybe they had 4 or 5 shares from already and they were passing on him.
Well, what I think that breaks down to is that's a room I want to be in. Because you have very experienced, smart guys playing against their preferences.
Yep.
Just so they can have variance. And somehow I feel like if I could find my way to a room like that, I have better odds. But that doesn't mean your point isn't logical or it isn't worth doing. It's just if what you're doing in response is you take Amari Cooper, for example, you are taking what you perceive as value in terms of ADP, and it fits because you don't want to have yet another Cooper Kupp team. So it can be sort of an opportunity, but also it's maybe mitigated by that the guys who are doing that, in this case you, are looking to sort of swoop in on missed opportunities, so to speak, and then that sort of cancels each other out, those two things.
Yeah, exactly. And I've got Kupp and Cooper in the same tier, right? So it's not like I'm reaching down into like that. I'm a big tier-based drafter. It's not like I'm going out of my tier to get variance and stuff like that. I'm going to stay within with my tier to do it. So if Kupp was the only guy in that tier, even if I'm overexposed to him, I'm still going to go ahead and take him because I don't want to leave that tier for him. And then it depends on too. Like if you look at this draft, is a team going, 0 RB? Are they going modified 0 RB? Are they going heavy running back? And a lot of times it affects what players fall to you. I mean, look at the beginning, team 2, team 3, going modified 0 RB, team 4 going heavy running back, team 5, team 6. It's great. Like you just, if you find yourself at the right spots in drafts, you can get some great value.
When I asked you about Aaron Jones, you mentioned their bye week. I was thinking more running back receiver, both on the same team. Team 2 did that right away. Cook and Jefferson.
Yeah.
So with A.J. Brown right there on the same sort of group to most, and then even Lamb or some of the other guys later, I wonder about that strategy. I don't know. I'm not here to say anything good or bad about it. It's just, I think intuitively I would want to avoid running back receiver on the same team, but maybe it's wrong to do that.
I think it depends on the team. I think it depends on the schedule. Like if you're taking 2 guys on the same team that have a really tough schedule in the playoffs, then it's gonna kill you. But if you can find the right combination, like I know the Cowboys, there's a nice combo there. I know the Cardinals have a nice playoff combo. But you got teams like the Vikings, for example. Like I think they've got the Rams, and I think they have somebody else on the schedule. I can look it up, but it's gonna be a tough playoff schedule for Jefferson and the crew. But
I think 17 might be Green Bay. I was looking up Rodgers today, and I think they finished Minnesota, Detroit. I know
There you
18 is
go.
Detroit, so if that's his last game
Yeah.
for them, I was looking to see how interesting that was. They have Cleveland on Christmas, by the way, the Packers, not the Vikings.
Right. Okay. Very, very nice. So I'm coming up here. I don't want to jinx it yet. Okay, so I'm two picks. So I'm one pick away. I like two guys. So Julio would be great here. If I could get Julio in the fifth, like mid to late fifth, I love it. If he goes, T Higgins would be my pick. And I'm happy with that.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
Now you are on
He went. Okay. So
Galladay,
looks
Godwin.
like,
There's so much yellow. There's so much yellow in that first third.
I know, it's crazy. And so I'm going to take T Higgins here. Again, he was probably the last. He was probably the last in my tier here before I was going to be scrambling. So I'm happy with T Higgins.
Fine. You do know that Rodrigo Blankenship is still on the board.
I got him queued up over here just in case I time out. You know what I mean?
So this is a kickers draft and defenses too. It's 20 rounds.
20 rounds.
So you'll want
indeed.
Probably one of each, maybe.
Yeah, I'll probably take him with my last two, depending on how the draft works out. But yeah, usually I go with the last two, and I'll take a defense and a kicker that have like a late bye week, just so I don't got to worry about and there's waivers before the season starts, so I can always swap out my defense. But kicker, I'm looking for a guy with like a later bye week.
Adam, 25 receivers and 23 running backs. So
yes,
between Carson and ETN, 12 picks later, only one.
Isn't that?
And so you have wide receivers outpacing running backs so far. And, that's great. I feel like that's been sort of demonstrated as a reasonable, if not smart strategy. But when you get into those later rounds, the running backs you pick, the preferences you show, whether that's based on recent news or draft status or whatever reason, that's going to be pivotal. Because a lot of these teams, 2, 3, 1, maybe 7, definitely 12, we'll see what happens right here, will be looking for starters. Starting running back 2 or a flex player, and then with an injury, there's so many injuries there, it's going to be important.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, I think I'm going to probably have to pivot here away from receiver only because so many of them went. So once it gets past me here, all these teams I think are going to start to hit on like team 2. Not all these teams. Team 2 and team 3 might take four running backs between the two of them. So I might want to beat them to it here because I don't see any receivers that I absolutely love. And you know me, there's a couple running backs I like here. So I've got my tight end. I've got I got 3 starting receivers. Another thing is too. Go on, Mike.
No, I'm sorry again. I was going to say, I like a guy here, but I don't think you like him, but he just went.
Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about Hunt there. James Robinson is at the 5'6" is pretty wild. I don't think I've seen him go that high in a while. The other guy I'm actually would not hate here might be Kyler Murray. I think he's the last quarterback in that tier.
Okay.
And he's so I wouldn't hate that either, but it's hard to take a tight end and a quarterback early. So I might, I might go with one of my.
I think you could take a rookie or a Patriot.
Come on, definitely could go rookie. Rookie for sure.
I like Carter and Harris here. Maybe it's a little early for Damian Harris. You have to trust the information so far. It's a little bit early, but Carter, well, they're both. You have Sermon.
What about my guy Trey Sermon?
fine. I mean, I like I like Carter a touch more because I feel like there's more momentum toward him being their number one. And there might be sneaky value in that they're the Jets. That's another one of those sort of hidden things that people downplay them. Wilson, everything. He's the number 2 pick in the draft. Lance is number 3. I think Carter. You and I, we did a show with Jay Moyer, and he's like, Carter is the best running back out there. That's all I'll say.
Michael Carter, it is.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, I like.
Now I'm involved.
You're involved. Look what you've done. No, I like. It was between Carter and Sermon. I've got a lot of Sermon, and I guess you could throw Chase Edmonds in there, but I just don't believe in Edmonds. Carter is the lottery ticket. You know what I mean. But yeah, like they're expecting him. The beat writers there they're all expecting him to be the 1A. I think the coaches want him to be. He fits perfectly. Their team's going to be losing. They're going to be throwing. He's making one-handed catches in camp. So, yeah, I'm excited about him. I would have loved to have got another receiver there, but the value just isn't there. And I think the running backs are going to start to go wild here at the other end of the draft.
Look at Herbert over Murray. That's without a
Herbert over
too.
Murray.
Well, he has
Wow.
Eckler. He has Eckler.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Or she.
It just feels so sick to take Michael Carter over like Kyler Murray. Like everything needs to be super flex because even in non-super flex, Kyler Murray's probably the pick.
I'm only going to say this once. Welcome to fantasy football.
Right. That's right. But one of the things I forgot to tell you at the beginning too, was I wanted you to promise me that you wouldn't let me take a quarterback before like round 10 because I wanted to try to build,
I wouldn't.
I wanted to try to build one of these teams. I keep getting lured into like right there taking Kyler Murray and then but then I just kick myself. I look at these drafts where Tom Brady, Joe Burrow, all these guys are going in like round 12, round 13.
Aaron Rodgers is still on the board.
Rodgers, right, exactly. So I passed. Do you think there's a shot? Actually, let me see. Did he go yet? Is there a shot Michael Thomas comes back around to me?
Ooh, yes. Do you want that?
I don't. He's my wide receiver 4. I don't need to start him for the first 4 or 5 weeks. Let me see where his ADP is actually.
Mojo 66.
Yeah, round 6. So he's going in the middle of round 6.
It should be lower. I think one of those teams probably took him by mistake. At 3-3.
Sure.
It's half the year.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I think team 1 is my style. I think what you want with Thomas is a trade because they feel that it's just the relationship is fractured, but you're still not getting on the field until week 8 or 9, probably.
Right.
So
I know.
No, you can always pick someone else.
Yeah, they have a bye week 6. So yeah, he's not getting on the field till week 7 at the earliest. I'm thinking. So
hey, it's your team. Let it be said. Sermon goes RB1 on team 3. That's impressive.
Yeah, that's listen, these guys at 1, 2, 3, they all had plans, and the plans, they were all next to each other, gobbling up all the receivers. So it's pretty wild. There's a receiver or 2 I still really, really like.
Me too.
I'm not gonna say out loud. You still got. This should be the round for Tyler Higbee, and I'm good there.
Adam,
good on hockey.
If I say it out loud, does it matter?
Yes, it does.
Why? I think it would be funny if I could write it in the chat or something like that. I could do that, but it's your team. I don't know. My guy's still on the board though, 3 away.
Yeah, say it before I pick. Is it?
Oh, I will, but don't want to say it too early, apparently.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not on board with that pick.
Pittman, you've been off Pittman this year. We've talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, Campbell's better.
Oh, Paris Campbell. Yeah, I'm thinking like dang Campbell. Paris Campbell. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. This is you got to have a ton of Paris Campbell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Round bare knuckle challenge prep round 13, 14, right? Paris Campbell.
Oh, freaking!
Anderson was the guy too for me. Anderson was it.
That was it. Unbelievable. So sick.
What about
So
Beckham?
sick.
He went. I see him now.
I think I'm pivoting to not pivoting, but I had a backup plan. My backup plan
went.
My backup plan is LaVisca Chenault.
Fine.
Give me another one of these receivers.
Look at all the yellow.
It's crazy.
It's cool.
It's cool.
What is that? 36?
Wide receiver 30-36. So can he be
Versus
a top
30? Look at that left third. I mean, that so many receivers there. It's 14 wide receivers among the first 3 teams within 7 rounds. I love it.
See, part of me wants to punish them and just take all these running backs just to spite them. Like my team's gonna stink, but I want your team to stink too. But no, I
There
can't.
goes Michael Thomas.
Gotta stay true. Yeah. I mean, it's his 4th receiver. If he can hold on for half the year, but again, I wasn't big on Michael Thomas this year to begin with in the 3rd. So, taking him in the 7th, nah, I'm good.
Thomas is in self-preservation mode. And if the Saints are bad, which is very possible, then he shuts it down. That's Galladay from last year.
Yep. Do you think they'll be that bad? Like I think I think they have a chance. Like I wouldn't start Winston now without any receivers. I'd probably go with Taysom Hill because he can create with his legs. But I think with Taysom Hill, an elite offensive line, Kamara, and good coaching, I think they can, keep their head afloat there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They could be okay. That's most of the league, but I'm not excited about the Saints. Kamara's great, but he's a running back, so I don't care.
Yeah.
They have made these big jumps in the draft, trading up and doing these big things. I think there's a reckoning.
Who am I taking here, Mike?
Mike Williams.
Yes, sir. We've done this before. Wide receiver 43. There is no way that Mike Williams stays healthy and finishes as the wide receiver 43. Absolutely no way.
Well, I like the build. I like the build. Right now, you've got 2 rookie running backs. Your team hinges on that a little bit, but I'm fine there. They're both going to play a lot.
Yep.
So Williams is a dynamite player. He just has to stay on the field. He's got the right quarterback.
Yeah.
So maybe now a question is stacking. We don't have Rodgers yet. We don't have, obviously a couple more of your guys who wouldn't have gone near this early. Are we almost to that point?
For QB?
Maybe 9-10?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to. Man, all these guys have quarterbacks here too, which is perfect. So basically, once it gets past team 2, I get my pick of the litter because no way these team 3 through 7's taking a QB. So, around. And who are we looking at here? I'm a little bit scared off. So Jalen Hurts. Do you think there's any way there's a trade to Philly for Deshaun Watson?
I think Hurts is a little dangerous right now.
Yeah.
But I feel, you know what? I wouldn't be too scared. I think what happened today was the confluence of his showing up for training camp and sort of the agents and the people involved working their media partners to the point where we hear about specific teams. We've heard about the Eagles a couple times, but I think they go into the season with Hurts. And I don't think the Texans would really care about getting him or getting Tua just the same in such a move, because I think their long game is 101 next year. So I think maybe Hurts, I haven't thought about him tonight, but I like that point. I think maybe he is okay. And he's still a top 10 quarterback if he's on the field. You just wonder today, as opposed to yesterday, whether he'll be on the field. So I wouldn't shy away from him. That's not any reflection on the team you're building. But if you liked Hurts this morning, I think you should like him tonight.
Yeah, and the other thing is, too, like Hurts was statistically one of the worst, or if not the worst passing quarterback in the league last year. I just listened to the FF Hustle and those guys, and Dwayne McCall was breaking it down. Like, he was just awful at throwing the football. So we weren't counting on him. We were either counting him to take a massive Josh Allen-like leap throwing the ball, or we're counting on just his legs. And his legs are enough, fantasy-wise. So whether it's in Philly, whether it's in Houston, it doesn't matter. You want him to run the ball. So going to Houston doesn't really, to me, hurt his value too much. I wasn't counting on him.
I don't think Houston would have anything to do with him. I mean, Houston is going to go to the bottom. They drafted Mills. They'll play Mills. They want to get to the bottom if they're doing it right. So
you think they would trade Watson and not get Hurts back?
I feel like maybe it's just not going to happen. I mean, there's still a high probability Watson has consequences anyway, and Hurts plays. There's no way he was the worst passing quarterback on his own team last year. So at least he was the best Eagles passing quarterback.
Sure.
I'm saying I'm fine with him. I don't know where you have him rated. There's not a lot of pink. You're seeing some purple now. There's tons of yellow tonight. I love it. But, I mean, you got to keep waiting. I mean, we'll see what happens between 901 and you, but you're in a great spot for quarterbacks. You don't need There's Burrow, there's Hurts, there's Fields, Stafford, of course, Fields and Lance. Come on.
Yeah. I'm totally with you. I want to just keep taking running backs and receivers.
Pollard there. That's our pros versus Joe's team.
That is our pros versus
Judy,
right.
Higbee, Pollard. It's what we did. I mean, 2-12, 3-1 are different, but 7, 8, 9, like that's our team. McCaffrey at the top, and then Judy, Higbee, Pollard, Mike Williams. You got, but that's what we did with that roster.
I know, and I'm surprised they're and I respect it, but those teams are not going to take running backs. But so one finally took Pollard. Two
does 2 want Madison? Not here necessarily, but
I don't think they do, and only because teams that build like this don't believe in handcuffing their own running back.
All right.
So
Dylan makes sense.
Dylan makes sense. Yeah, exactly. They'll handcuff somebody else. So I'm looking at 2 guys here, maybe 3. I'll add another one. What do you think of Darnell Mooney this year?
Like him.
Don't love him.
The trade helps him.
What about Troutman?
Like him, but I wouldn't do that here.
Okay, I'm looking at this. Let's see what Troutman's ADP is. Troutman's ADP is the 9-10 turn. I mean, you don't think he has a shot at being their number 1 receiver?
I didn't say that, but
so I had James Conner queued up. Our guy, James Conner. I am on the clock.
Elijah Moore.
Elijah Moore for you?
It's your team.
Can't do it. I think I'm going to upset you here, but to me, it's between Mecole Hardman and Marquise Brown. And I listened to Smola and Schauf do the AFC North today, and Marquise Brown just, I don't know, with all that new competition coming in, I'm gonna bet on this draft. I'm gonna bet on Mecole Hardman getting better as a receiver in his 3rd year, in being the number 2 wide receiver on that team. And if Tyreek Hill goes down, jackpot.
Well, sure.
No, I know, but
you could take Zach Wilson in the last round and have Elijah Moore, Carter, and Zach Wilson.
Well, Elijah Moore is a 10th round ADP, so I can always take him coming back. Maybe.
No pressure. You have 6.
That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it is true. I have 6 receivers. I think I might be good at that. But that's the thing.
I know who you want right here.
Oh, you gonna write it in the chat? Oh, I like this guy. Yeah, I like this guy.
The private chat?
Yeah.
All right.
That guy. Cue him up, baby. I'm gonna pass.
These are big rounds.
Right here, you think for that position? I got to.
Maybe.
No, you're right. I think you're right. Why are you always right, Mike?
I'm not, but I know you don't like guys who you think they're always right. So I don't even want to take that question. Here, wait. I think you're fine with either, and neither makes it back.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the guy, the first one you typed for sure. That makes sense for the roster build, for everything, for the day and age that we're in right now. I like that. Gone, Mike. Unbelievable. Really? Gone. Aaron Rodgers was the guy.
Both?
No, I don't think. I think I'm gonna wait. Rodgers was the only guy that I would have taken.
No, why would you take both? Why would 11 take both?
Oh, 11 took both. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not because look, tight end, 4 running backs, 3 receivers. They like the colors. The way that the colors line up. And then Troutman went. Troutman was my default. So I'm gonna go with.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go with a running back here that I think has a shot at volume right out of the gate. Some volume. I'm going to go with. Oh, I'm not even on the clock yet. I was about to click the thing, and this guy's about to take him.
Rojo?
Nope.
Is he still there?
Gone. Unbelievable. I mean, 3 picks in a row.
Where is Ronald Jones on the board?
Is he? I don't see him. I mean, I'm looking at the draft. I was going to take Jamal Williams. That's who I was going to take. So now I'm going to go.
This is late. This would be late for Ronald Jones, but okay.
Right. Yeah. Is Ronald Jones even? Let me see.
I mean, round 9.
Oh, I know. I think I'm going to go Gus Edwards.
Wow.
I like it. I mean, they love him. They just re-signed him. I think it's just him and J.K. Yeah, and I think he's gonna have a role there for sure. Ronald Jones is, and you know me, I had Ronald Jones everywhere last year. I feel like his time is. They don't, they clearly don't love him. Lenny's the guy. Rojo was super frustrating last year.
That might be true. That might be true, but he's better than Fournette. He's always been better than Fournette. The problem is he's terrible, apparently, in the passing game.
Yep.
So where does that leave him? I don't know. Like, there's a Super Bowl team that plays intentionally its second best running back. No, I mean, he was hurt in the playoffs. So the playoffs were a different deal, but I mean, Jones is better than Fournette. He always has been better than Fournette.
I know. I completely agree with you, but Look at the purple going now. Cranking.
Look at the purple.
It's wild.
Do you have to take a second one? I mean, like, would you make sure to or no?
Yeah, I will. I might.
There's Jones.
I was
with Fournette.
I was gonna
Jones and Fournette go together.
Yep. Because again, they're just looking to hope one of them hits. They're hoping one of them. Well, I don't want to say they're hoping for one of them to get hurt because we would never do that. But they're looking for one of them to emerge as the lead back there. But yeah, it's interesting. I wanted Troutman there actually. Like if once Rodgers went, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna take Troutman. He's great value, and this, with him being, he might be the best receiver there, and obviously next to Alvin Kamara, and of course he went, and then Jamal Williams, and so that was a run there. I feel like am I done at receiver, Mike?
No, really?
No.
I mean, what's your breakdown in your mind? Is it two?
Well, here's where it breaks down on my team, because what you run into is it sounds great to take 8, 9, 10 receivers, but you're going to cut one of them or two of them at the first cut on week 1, but also setting a lineup when you have 7, 8 receivers is just impossible because you're never going to get it right. So I would rather take I clearly need more help at running back. I'd rather take another running back, or a shot at a guy that, with an injury can start for me, or a quarterback, or, it's just hard when you're setting a lineup to get it right every week. And when you've got 8, like I've got 6 right now, and I'm already gonna, I'm planning on this team's gonna start 4 receivers every single week, so I'm perfectly fine with that. But the thought of having to make a decision over the 3rd and 4th receiver spot between 6 guys, it's just you're never going to get it right, and it's going to kill you.
Well, that's the problem. So that's one of those things like being in the slow grocery line where you go, I'm always in the slow grocery line. Those times when you feel like you messed up your lineup, you might have done okay, but somebody had a monster week that you didn't start. Yeah. And really, more often than not, you might get those right, but you won't remember it when you get them right. Yeah. So I think the better attack is more of those guys and not worry about lineups. I mean, there's a lot of randomness baked in the lineups anyway. So for me, no. I mean, you have more experience than I do, but for me, Elijah Moore is somebody that by the time we get to week 1, they play Denver. Like maybe he's on your team, maybe he's in your lineup, but it's okay. Like Hardman could be. I think Hardman does have a lot of value. We lost Burrow, and I say we. I'm sorry for saying we.
No, I love it.
I mentioned Burrow and Stafford is somebody that works. You are now one of 2 teams without a quarterback, or make that 3. No pressure though.
Yeah, I'm going to keep. I think waiting at this point. I think I'm going to keep waiting. There's players that I really kind of like here. I'm looking at the ADP. Madison. That's I hate to say it because the guy's going to take him now, but Madison's the guy I'm looking at here. If he goes, I'm thinking
he's not taking Madison.
Perfect. So Madison it is. Another dart throw at running back here. Mike, what do you think about Team 4 has 2 receivers and 2 quarterbacks?
And 3 tight ends. Maybe it's their 50th team.
And he's never going to have to worry about what receivers to start. So
I don't want to be rude, but is there maybe a correlation between the teams that take David Montgomery and the odd builds? Maybe.
Yeah. That's a great point.
Montgomery. Oh wow, McLaurin, Robinson, Evans. I don't know. That's tough for me. I mean, is he going to start him?
He's going to have to. I mean,
at the Rams week 1, is he going to start Montgomery? with Elliott and Jones in his backfield. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a lot of money. I don't do very many of these. You do a lot, and for all I know, each one of these guys also, or women, they might also do a lot, but I just don't get it. Like
Yeah.
receiver is power.
Receiver is power.
There goes Fields.
Yeah, Fields was going to be my guy. So that's interesting. So we've still got one. Am I the only team left? No, two. Me and one other team don't have a quarterback. So at this point, I'll be taking two of them, and it'll be.
Are you sure?
Probably.
You are up now.
Why is that?
There really shouldn't be one in front of you, and I think the guy just typed in is probably right for your roster.
Let me see here. Is he still? Oh, he's still there. Okay. Whoa, we lucked out there.
Oh, Lance! Again, like when does he play for that team?
I know. Totally get it. Here's the thing. I don't love the guy you typed in, and I love the idea of getting one of these guys, one of these tight ends here before they're all gone. I really like. I'll let you pick, Mike. I got a coin flip. Gerald Everett, Hunter Henry.
Right now?
Yes.
Everett
it is. So that's
this ought to be good now.
Yeah, I'm done. Listen, we're doing it for the fans. We're doing it for the excitement. Everyone can sit on the edge of their seat. Okay. But I told myself I was going to wait. I haven't waited this long yet, and I'm just going to keep on keeping on. And so
is that a Brady Bunch reference, by the way?
I think so. That's right. I'm going to keep on keeping on tonight. So
no, yeah, Brady Bunch is keep on dancing all through the night.
That's it.
Different song. Sorry about all this.
So I'm set at tight end. I mean, I guess I'm not done at receiver. There's eight more rounds left, So
what was Everett's ADP?
What?
11.
Yeah, got him into 12.
Okay.
What's crazy is Hunter Henry's is probably even before that. No, 12 for Hunter Henry.
I like Everett more than Henry because I think Wilson will throw to his tight end. I think that's a part of his game. And I have no idea what New England is. Like Hunter Henry is good, but he might be inline blocking a lot with Jonnu. You don't know what the quarterbacks want to do. I mean, Newton did have Olsen, but I would just prefer Everett. I think Everett, who has physical talent, and he's on a team now where I think he might be able to be really good. So I don't want to overdo it for him. I would do it just the way you did, which is like if he's there, you do it.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of smart people say that he's not the key to their offense, but like he's a big part. He's going to be a big part of it. Kind of like the K-Gun offense. What was that? Was that named after Keith McKellar?
Yeah.
Like he wasn't the focal point, but so I think that I think he's going to be a piece of that offense for sure. New coordinator, so hopefully they integrate him, and yeah, I like that. And again, Hawkinson's starting every week. Hawkinson's my guy that I'm banking on. But if I can get two, and this is what wins a lot of money, Mike, is the team that are lucky enough to get that top tight end and to hit on a second one later on. 2 years ago when I came in fifth in the main event, I had multiple. I had Ertz, and I had Goddard, and I had Gesicki that year, and all three of them I think finished top 10. So you being able to hit on these late tight ends to go along with that elite tight end is really, really nice.
Well, Trevor Lawrence, I've been pushing on you for a while, but he went. So now you are the only team left without a quarterback. Are we at like 16 or 17 maybe that have been taken?
We are 17 deep.
So you don't have a stack available anymore.
Nope. I'm taking my guy here, though.
There goes a kicker.
I'm taking my guy here, and there's nothing anybody can do about it.
Quarterback?
Yep.
Why not wait?
Well, I guess I could wait for because I want to kind of stack them. I know it sounds. I guess I don't want to stack them anymore. But
what's happening behind you though, right? Like team
right.
10.
They're not taking them. You're right. I was going to stack them, but I'm not going to do that now that I'm looking at all those teams behind me that have 2. So I'm going to wait. And gosh, the guy I want is freaking Hunter Henry, but I'm not taking a third. Well, let's do this in homage.
I have a name.
In homage. Don't even type it. Don't even type the name. I got it. It's already locked in.
Come on.
It's already locked in. It's already locked in there.
Yes.
It's already.
Yes, I love it. That's a great pick.
They need somebody, right? They need somebody to be the guy there, don't they? Somebody's got to step up.
The only reason he's not already established as the best receiver they have is injuries.
Yes. Now I'm a Pittman. I kind of think Pittman's got a little something to him, but when you look back at receivers who go crazy, like, man, how did I not see that coming? And it's always like, oh, well, we forgot about the receiver because of injuries. Like, man, how did Campbell finish as a top 15 fantasy receiver? You know, we got Carson Wentz there who can throw with an elite offensive line that can give him time. You know, I think somebody's going to kill their ADP. Campbell or Pittman. One of them's going to kill their ADP. And for this team's sake, I hope it's Campbell.
I was thinking of Bateman, who just went at the end of the round. I liked him for what you have, but I think Campbell was a fun and good idea. The Barkley team took Booker.
The Barkley team took Booker. That's not a horrible idea. I mean, what if Barkley starts on the pup? I mean, is that possible?
Well, he's already on it.
You are up.
Right. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Booker plays if Barkley doesn't, but I feel like what I've learned in this is you would want somebody else's Barkley if you took Booker, but maybe not. Like, you're going to start one of them. It's a managed league, so probably fine. You want your quarterback here or no?
Is it terrible to just wait still?
Nope.
I think I'm going to keep waiting. There's a guy I've got in my mind. Plus, only got 4 running backs, and
Can I guess?
Yes.
Wait, I missed them. Never mind. I'm not ready. Go ahead.
I think I'm going to go with Javian Hawkins.
Okay.
I think, again, everyone keeps talking about, you know, how the most fragile running back right now is Mike Davis. Not as far as him physically, but like he's never been awesome. You know, he wore down last year. He was good enough fantasy-wise, but he was never awesome. They bring him in, you know, they don't give him a crazy contract, and maybe this Javian Hawkins guy is the better running back. You know, they haven't come out and said Mike Davis is our guy no matter what. I mean, Hawkins could certainly outplay him during training camp. You know, and you've got and then you get yourself a James Robinson situation. You know, like we always like to refer to. So again, dart throw. You always got to like Sig Bloom says. You got to tell yourself a story. You know, where it makes sense. And so I like that. And I think his ADP might be even earlier. Maybe I'm not sure.
No, it's a little later, but you're not too far off.
Yeah. So
again, hashtag bare knuckle challenge prep.
Yes, let's go.
But now you might tell me I'm wrong here, but when it gets late in these drafts, I'm always thinking about who would I cut? Because even in 6 weeks, there will be some changes here. And maybe in terms of Hawkins, he moves way up, like maybe Henderson did, if there's an injury or a change. Atlanta could also, a veteran could get cut, and Atlanta would maybe claim him.
Yep.
But there are players here that you want. I feel like it's the way I do it. I'm like, who can I easily dispose of if by the time we get to weeks 1, 2, or 3, they are no part of anything.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Kev Dog thinks I'm going to end up with Trubisky. I mean, I would never do that to my guy Josh Allen. I would never disrespect him like that.
Oh, of course, disrespect, of course.
No,
I mean, you know how many guys have called me in 20 years with comments like that? Disrespect. Why do you hate him?
I would never disrespect my guy Josh Allen like that. So, but yeah, so yes, you're right, Mike. And Jaden Hawkins is one of those guys that, week 1, he might be cut. It's depending on where he is on the depth chart and what my team's looking like and all that. But again, these dart throws, I've got 6, 7 receivers. So it's like the running backs are just dart throws. The least valuable position in fantasy football is probably quarterback, although it's getting better with these guys that are smashing these top end quarterbacks. But your RB2 is probably the second least position because you can just fill it in with injured guys and guys you get off waivers. You really want to kill the flex position. So I think I'm going to do that with my receivers here, and I'm going to find a running back. Hopefully it's Michael Carter, but if it isn't, hopefully one of these other running backs pans out. So I think I'm going to go.
I sent you a name, by the way.
Oh, did you? Oh, baby. I can't wait. Do you want me to pull the trigger now?
Yeah.
I can't believe I can't in good conscience do it. Not live in front of a studio audience. I can't do that. Okay.
Philadelphia week 1.
Philadelphia week 1. I think I'm going to go. I'm going to go this route. I think I'm going to go here. I'm going to go Kirk Cousins, Mike.
Kirk Cousins.
Going Kirk Cousins.
Why?
Why not? Tell me why
not? It's not an appropriate comeback when the subject is Kirk Cousins. Why not? You can't just say why not for everybody.
Quarterback 18. The guy's got 2. He got an all-pro at receiver, another Pro Bowler, Irv Smith. I mean, QB 18. Let's go. He's not even my starter, Mike. Week 1. That's the crazy part.
He's not?
No. That's
well,
my next guy.
Then why do it?
That's my next guy because I'm hedging here. Because I'm hedging, guys. I'm gonna have everyone. I'm gonna have Mike on absolute tilt by the end of this draft. The next guy I'm taking him a round early or 2. But I don't care.
Okay.
All right.
You're going to start this guy against Baltimore in week 1?
I don't even know if this guy plays week 1, to be honest.
Plus, you didn't take Elijah Moore. Okay, well, you know what, Mike? Buy your own team. Which I'll be doing, I think, in the next 2 days.
Absolutely. Wow, Deshaun Watson.
Who will never play on the Jackson team unless Jackson has a terrible injury.
Right.
Now you are on the call.
And Mike, who did the Saints play week 1?
Green Bay.
Do we know? Oh my God.
Green Bay.
Oh my God. Taysom Hill's been running all over Green Bay week 1.
Oh, you're not doing that. Really?
He's running them all over in week 1, Mike.
I'd rather have Newton.
Hold on a minute. Cam Newton can't run or throw now. Like, what do we?
He can't run either. He ran for 12
No.
touchdowns last year in a limited
Yeah.
season, like with COVID. He can't run either. That's
He
how
can't
bad.
run.
That's how bad it is.
He can run half a yard. Okay, it's about as far as he can run. And when he runs more than a half a yard, he gets stripped and loses the game. So
I believe in Newton. I think there's life there. I think that's a team that deserves the benefit of the doubt. They brought him back. He was sick, shoulder, foot, new offense, signed late. I mean, there were all kinds of reasons to doubt him. He's been dealing with that his whole career, but he's been super good. He's an MVP. Like, I think Newton is value in these things because people they're just so done with him. And after he got sick in that offense last year with the worst skill position players of any team since the 1970s, he had trouble completing passes. Well, who wouldn't?
you mean the 2018 Bills? That's what you meant to say.
The skill guys? That team?
Yes.
Okay. Except for they. Yes.
But
I
for real,
like
though,
Newton. I don't love him in this because you don't need him. You're going to go with Cousins, I guess. But I think Newton in certain formats is undervalued. Maybe here, but they go Miami and the Jets the first 2 weeks. Yeah, that's not terrible.
Does Taysom Hill start week 1 for the Saints?
Maybe. You know, maybe I might say 60-40. Even money, I would bet yes.
Okay. Yeah, I want that. Yeah, I mean, it could have been Cam Newton too, but I'm looking for that type of upside player. I just don't think Newton can stay healthy at this point in his career. So flip a coin. I mean, Taysom Hill was electric last year in the 3 games that he started. I know Michael Thomas isn't going to be there, but I think the coaching staff is smart enough to, with a month preparation, to be able to get an offense similar to like what you said with Cam Newton can do. And just he can get those rushing yards and all that stuff. And he might be a guy cut in the preseason. You know, there's going to be quarterbacks on the waiver wire. This team is not built around the quarterback position, so I'm not super concerned about it at all. It's just 2 guys I think have chances to have monster weeks. You know, Cousins is obviously he's had his issues, but I'm totally okay with it.
There goes Marquez Callaway at 17-1. Very interesting.
Yes, very interesting.
Brian Edwards, Henry Ruggs, 2 Raiders, 7 receivers, Higbee, Komet, Ferkser. Why Ferkser? Burrow, banking on Burrow. Burrow, there's a backup quarterback happening probably there on team 1. I mean, which of these quarterbacks are you cutting before week 4? One of them.
For what team?
Your team.
Yeah, one of them probably. I'm not sure if Taysom Hill comes out of the gate as the starter and humming. You know,
but he can't throw, and there are no receivers. You're trying to win the big money. You said.
Listen, I totally get it. He's coming. Evan, or not Evan? What am I trying to say? Thomas is coming. He's coming back eventually. You know, I trust Sean Payton. I don't want him to throw. I want him to run. I want to be a running back at the quarterback position. You know what I mean?
By the way, the team ahead of you only has 1.
That's crazy. Well, that's not crazy. He's got Mahomes. At least he trusts. He's like, listen, I'm taking Mahomes and I'm not touching it again. You know. So.
Yep.
For sure. You know. I'm taking your guy coming up here next. So.
Are you?
Yeah.
I think he'll be picked. Right in front of you. I think he'll be picked.
Well, which would be insane because no, that guy's got one. That guy's got one, but
right in front of you.
Right in front of me. Yeah, I'm trying to look at some of these other teams. Eckler, Chubb. I just think Chubb is on Andrews, Galladay, Pittman, Parker. Yeah, like a lot of these teams, there was no receiver help left for them, you know?
Is there one more of these left tonight, by the way?
There's probably more. I don't know if they filled. There's usually a 10:30 and an 11:55.
Oh, so late.
I know. I have
11:55 has every spot open but 1.
It will probably. Yeah, I don't want to say it'll probably fill. It might. It might fill. Those are 50-50. If you want to promo it now and say you're going to be in it, you might fill it. Come on. But full disclosure, I have fallen asleep during those 11:55 drafts.
Wow.
Those are late. 1:30 in the morning. It's pick 14.
You have access. Did they just change pick 3?
I don't know. Yes, it looks like they did. Yeah.
You are up next.
Gecko's having computer issues. Yeah. So they did.
Here it
Amari
is.
Rogers. That's interesting. Should I take Randall Cobb, Mike?
Ooh, you could. I don't mind that. I don't like Rodgers. Is that going to be the guy I said or no? Right here.
Right here.
Did he go?
No, I took him.
Cool.
I took him. I mean, yep.
A 4th tight end went right in front of you.
So you can't predict these things.
No, you wouldn't want to.
You wouldn't want to.
Who I like. That's the number 4 kicker. And I mean, everybody loves to stream, but I think there's value in that. You sort of leave them.
Yeah, everybody does love to stream. You know who doesn't love to stream? The guy with 24 Football Guys teams plus a bunch of others. So it's hard.
Okay.
You know, I definitely do not stream kicker. I'll take it and I'll go with it unless the guy's hurt or absolutely terrible. I'm just going to leave my kicker, and it might be stupid or whatever. But when you're running as many teams as I am, defenses I'll stream for sure. Which, you know, and that's hard too because defenses, unless they score touchdowns, don't do anything in the FFPC. So it's hard for me to even want to stream defenses too, you know. So, Randall Cobb just went. It's interesting. All right, here.
I have a guy for you. I have a guy. Oh, wait. No, I have a better idea.
I have a guy. Queued up a guy. Let's see if it's the same guy. I like this guy too. I like this guy. I like that guy.
You are up next.
Oh boy.
Wow. Let me know.
Now you are on the call.
All right. I have a name. Daryl Williams.
Is he? I think he's been gone. Yeah, he is.
Where?
I had him queued up a couple rounds ago.
Daryl Williams. Oh, there he is. 16.
Round,
You're
16,
right.
yeah.
You're right. Sorry.
I would have totally loved that. You excited me there for a second.
Sorry.
I think
What
I'm
about
gonna go.
Joshua Kelly? What about Joshua Kelly? Is he gone?
I'm not sure.
Maybe at the end on the right. Is that him? The email is the email thing blocking his name.
I like. No, it's. It might be. It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joshua
Okay.
Kelly. I actually like Justin Jackson better as the handcuff there, but I think I'm going to go.
Draft the defense.
No. I think I'm going. Ramondre Stevenson.
Okay.
Take another dart throw at a back and out. Obviously, I say I'm done. Like there's much more time left, but I have one skill position left. You know, and I've got some guys queued up. But so overall, Mike, what do we think of my draft? What do we think of the whole thing in general?
Well, I don't know if I like your quarterback result. I like Zach Wilson, and you could still do that, but now it's weird. So I like the receivers a lot, but I think this league leaned in that direction, you know, to its credit. So I think a lot of teams will really like wide receiver. Definitely team 10, 1, 2, 3 are all focused on that. Wow, look at 3 making up for the running backs. 7 out of 9 picks.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray 1, fine. I think tight end, you're fine. I think your value coming up here is equivalent to what you would find on waivers during the season. And I do like Everett.
Yeah.
So it really has to be a receiver here or else Zach Wilson. And I don't know why you would draft Zach Wilson, right? Because
the reason you would take Wilson here would be hedging Hill. Like if Hill doesn't start week 1, am I going to hold on to him when they're, for no reason?
Well, then you could take Winston.
Sure. That was what I was going to do earlier, but I do not want Winston if he I don't want Winston without Michael Thomas. I'll take Taysom Hill because I want him to run. But Winston with no receivers, I want zero part of. So I could take Zach Wilson planning on cutting Hill or Cousins week 1, but Zach Wilson, I mean, is he even, we don't know this about any of the rookies, but is he even going to be serviceable? Like, I don't know.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Same odds as anybody else.
I guess. But he got either right. He fits right with my Michael Carter, so.
I'm receiver here.
Oh yeah. Let me see. I've got a couple of running backs queued up. Yeah, I like this guy.
I have a pet favorite guy late that never goes. And sometimes I feel like I shouldn't even bother because he never gets drafted. But that would be Tyron Johnson of the Chargers. He never goes. You could pick Diami Brown. You could pick.
Now you are on.
I might go. Let me see. Hold on one second. Kansas.
Watkins makes sense. I like that. Watkins.
Do I go Pringle or Demarcus Robinson to pair up with my Mecole Hardman?
No, you'll never start them.
Well, sure. That is true. Ever, under any circumstance?
Like Watkins, you might start even week 1 or 2.
Sure.
That Tyron Johnson, you have Mike Williams. Boy, I don't know. I always like him. Tyler Johnson is also good for Tampa.
What about Lazard with Rodgers back?
Sure. Deshaun Jackson is fun. Crowder.
Yeah, Crowder's who I was actually thinking about taking.
Crowder. They kept him. They kept him, and there's going to be a power struggle there in the slot. I just don't know how they're going to keep Crowder off the field. Crowder's been really good. Like, are you just not going to start him over? Like, I feel like they're going to find a spot for him, And if they don't, I cut him, So week 1, you will start Jamison Crowder because there'll be 1 or 2 injuries. He will get you his 9 catches for 45 yards. And you will walk away with 13.5 points and feel a little bit less than satisfied, but also proud. Like you did it. You found late round value. # late round value.
Mike, is it okay for Team 3 to root for injuries quietly in his home to starting running backs?
Team 3?
Yes.
Oh, you can root for injuries. I don't root for anything life threatening. But somebody who loses a year, they still get paid. I mean, is that the worst thing in the world?
No.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really want to brag about it.
No. I mean, listen, it's a difference between bragging about having no shares of the guy and bragging about the guy being hurt. You know what I mean? So, all right, defense. I mean, what are we looking for here? We're looking for a team with a
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
At Houston, week 1.
Lock it in.
You might have to stream that, but I will help you if you need help.
I'm definitely streaming that. But
maybe Watson will play.
Listen, I just want everything to be settled. Can we just settle everything? I'm glad the Rodgers thing is settled now. Let's get the Watson thing settled. No more question marks going into week 1.
No, I'm in talk radio. You want to drag it out if you're me. You want it to last forever. Content is king. So Jacksonville at Houston week 1, then we're going to be done with them.
Yes. Then who cares? We'll figure it out after that.
Yeah, right.
So I got to say, I was looking back. I try to, if I'm drafting home alone, nobody's watching. I lose my cool over losing out on Rodgers. That really, really stunk.
Tonight?
Tonight, yeah. and losing out on Fields. So like those were the two guys. Like once you queued up Rodgers, I was salivating at the thought of Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and
well, the guy who took him had Brady too. I mean,
right. That's right.
Why? And now he has Tua, so that's good.
And he had just taken it right. And that's the thing, but like we're talking about like who a quarterback in this. So he's going to drop Tua, and I'm going to pick him up. Roethlisberger is going to get dropped. Like it's guys are going to drop quarterbacks. So, anyways, going back to it, like, and then Fields, that hurt too when the guy had Russell Wilson. So I was counting on getting Rodgers or Fields or something like that, and it just didn't work out. So after that, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to punt it, take one of these guys down here, and cross my fingers for that to work out well for me. But yeah, I like the depth at receiver. Obviously, Carter could be the guy there. He could be a Austin Eckler type player. So that would be fun.
Quarterback wise, I liked Rodgers, yes, but I liked Lawrence for you in 11 or 12. What is that? 12. When you took Everett. I guess that's 10. Is that 10? That's 10. Sorry. So I would like to see this team with Lawrence on it, Lawrence Chenault. But, it was fun. A lot of yellow. Michael Carter is very interesting. I'm fine. I love your top, right? Top 5 picks are all.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper, maybe value is a little soft right now because of injury concerns, but likeliest scenario is he plays week 1.
Sure. Oh yeah. I think he'll be good, and they'll take it easy on him. And I think he's going to have some absolute smash games. And yes, no, I'm excited about this team. It's not my favorite team, but yeah, I like this little Devontae Adams. I'm excited about finally getting some shares of him. So
it can't be your favorite team because if these two things are not the same, one, you're picking people that you're picking because you don't have them yet.
Right.
And then 2, it's not your first. So for one reason or another, you're not going to love this team like you love certain other teams. But
that's right. It's not the first time every time.
If you wrote down or kept track of the most loved team, I bet their winning rate is fairly low.
Could be, for sure. Absolutely, for sure. So, yeah, in fact, I got to go look back now and see how many shares of Hawkinson I got. I might have to start, pulling my foot off the gas on him a little bit and start, dipping into Pitts or even Andrews, So,
yep. We have Andrews in pros versus Joes. No, we didn't get Andrews. I thought we wanted to, but we got Higbee.
Yeah. Silva
that team won in this draft. Yeah, that's right. With Lamar Jackson. This team won on this side. Looks a lot like our team in the middle.
Yeah, I like the team one structure. I just Jamar Chase Deontay at the 4-5. I would have gone Godwin Lockett, or even Julio there. But I like the structure.
Yeah, me too.
So
all right. So now what happens? We wait for 6 weeks.
Yeah, we wait for 6 weeks, and we do 100 more drafts. That's what we do. Next week. So I don't know what the schedule is, but I know Draft Structure Invitational starts next week. So I'll be on the air like every night of the week doing that for the next.
You're on every one of those.
I'm doing it. Yep. So we're Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday the following week. And then I think I've got a draft or two kind of. I'm in one of those. I don't remember which one I'm in, and you're in one as well, obviously. So
I'm on August 10th, 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Okay, cool. So you'll be one of the last ones. So I'll be doing a lot of those, and that's super super fun. And obviously I got some drafts sprinkled in there of my own, and then Kentucky, man. Kentucky's right around the corner, and then you and I are.
Oh.
And I'm still maybe trying to get you out there to Kentucky, and then Vegas is a little over a month away, man. So
yep, that's right.
August is gonna be a blur.
I have to text you about Vegas. I will do that tonight or tomorrow because I have a thought on the Wednesday evening, Thursday morning plan. So let's do that. Thanks everybody for watching. Adam, good luck. And we'll see you next time on the Deep End.
See you guys.